What do we make of this quarter from Salesforce? The stock dropped after earnings thanks to some concern over guidance. But are we nitpicking? After the close, we got a chance to check in with Marc Benioff, the co-founder, chairman, CEO of Salesforce, to attempt to figure out what's going on both with the stock and the company. Take a look. Marc, welcome back to Bad Buddy.
Jim, it's great to be with you. Thanks for having me, always.
All right, so let's puzzle through here. I want to do a different kind of interview with Salesforce. I can sit here and say, you know what, you grew 11 on this and 10 on that. Or I can ask you, a year from now, are we going to see every company be doing what a Williams-Sonoma is doing or a Reddit is doing? Because if we're just going to pigeonhole you to this high single digit, low double digit, that may be missing the forest through the trees.
Well, the absolute number, Jim, is some of the biggest in the software industry. $10.25 billion in revenue for the quarter, up 10% year over year. Jim, it's incredible. $15 billion of cash flow for the year. It's incredible. So before we start getting pigeonholed, yes, let's get pigeonholed on that. $10 billion in revenue for the quarter and $15 billion for the cash flow for the year.
But people are going to tell you
right, Jim, we are
the operation
going
cash
through,
flow was supposed to be $935 million. It came in at $740 million.
Oh, Jim, we're raising our cash flow for the year. Okay. It's incredible what's happening for the company. And Jim, you are right, though, at the macro level. We are seeing an incredible transformation of every enterprise into becoming an agentic enterprise. The idea that software is becoming apps and agents working together to make customers more successful is something that we're seeing in every business, but it's really started in our own business. And we've been talking about that for about 9 months now with you, that you can see that on help.salesforce.com has now completed about 1.5 million conversations between our agents and our customers. And at the same time, our customer support agents, you know, we have thousands of them. Well, they also completed about 1.5 million customer service conversations. And yet the CSAT scores were about the same. So now we can really see through, especially through this kind of orchestration, that it's humans and agents working together to solving these customers' needs. And you know, Jim, we're about to move from doing that just on support, which has been awesome. And the second stage of the agentic enterprise is sales. So, of course, that's our namesake product. But now, Jim, we have our new sales agents. And our sales agents are out there calling prospects, closing deals, generating appointments for us and our customers. And why that's exciting, Jim, is you just think about for Salesforce. In the last 26 years, we've had more than 100 million customers, well, call it 20 to 100 million customers, who have contacted us. We haven't been able to call them back. We just haven't had the people. So now we can call all of those customers back through our sales agents. It's an incredible new capability for Salesforce, for technology, and our pipelines have never been richer and fuller because of that.
Then how is it
so
possible
that's a very
that you
exciting idea that we're now agentifying sales.
Shaded down your estimates for growth? If that's the case, that's what I'm trying to get my handle on. Like,
Jim, we're not. We've raised our guidance for the year. We've raised our margins for the year, and we've raised our cash flow for the year. In all cases.
Okay, against estimates that I'm talking about, not against you. But I mean, for instance, the current remaining performance obligation, $1.61. I was looking for $1.81. Again, this is what I don't want to get trapped in. I think these things are the forest. And
our Q2 viewers, CRPO is up 11% year over year.
Yes, it was, but then you took it back down to 9. You beat your estimates dramatically. And then you took the estimates back down again. I think that people have to get away from this. They need to be thinking, what is Williams-Sonoma doing? Or what is Reddit doing?
Jim, you can see our results are absolutely fantastic. And our guidance is also, is always appropriately conservative. You know that.
Yeah, it is. Well, what I'm trying to get people to understand is that your other businesses, which everyone told me weren't doing well, completely wrong. They're doing much better than people thought. And this business, the AI business, is actually going to be doing $1 billion in sales. And people have to get on board.
Oh, it's over that already.
Well, I'm just saying that.
Well, the AI business is already over $1 billion. It's our fastest growing business ever.
I know.
And by the way, that's the catalyst, Jim, for the agentic enterprise. The agentic enterprise is happening for every customer. You saw it in Williams-Sonoma. You see it in Reddit. You see it in every single one of our customers in the quarter, thousands of transactions that we completed. Even multi-million-dollar transactions grew, at rates that we haven't seen in a long time because every customer realizes that what Salesforce is doing, they can do for themselves. I kind of showed you how we've dramatically reshaped our customer support. We've lowered our costs by like 17% this year because we were able to bring in agents. And now we're doing it with sales as well. Jim, here's another way to think about it. We do 11 million emails a year with our customers, 11 trillion emails a year with our customers, trillion with a T. And each one of those has been a one-way conversation. But now we're showing how there's going to be an agent at the end of every single one of those emails, so they're all two-way conversations. Or our field service product, which is one of our fastest growing products in the quarter, field service is now fully agentic. So when that Eaton sales rep comes and works on my, power device that connects my Airstream trailer, to my house, which is actually something that I have, before they're just working on the system of record. Now they have the system of record and the agentic system working together. That's what's so exciting about what's happening. Every single one of our products is getting fully agentified, including Slack, which also is why it had such a great quarter. And you can see it in the revenue. Up 10% year over year on the revenue, 10.25 billion. Subscription and support revenue, Jim, was up 11% year over year, 9.7 billion. Jim, what software company are you covering that is up 10% to 10.25 billion this year?
It's not the number. It's
on
the
quarter.
Look, I thought the number was terrific, Mark. It's revenue
okay,
guidance.
so are we just talking about our CRPO guide?
The 8.59% year over year and 8% in constant
currency.
currency.
I guided that for last quarter too, but you can see I beat it.
Well, look. My channel trust owns it. I'm not out to drive the darn thing down. I'm trying to explain why it's down where it is. And
what are we talking about, our results or our guidance?
It's maybe at 22 times earnings. This
what
kind of guidance is good.
What are we talking about, our results or our guidance? I don't know what we're talking about.
The results were terrific, Mark.
You're upset about the guidance?
Well, no, I'm not upset about anything. I think that this is the future.
Oh, good.
I think that when someone like Laura Albert from Williams-Sonoma, whom I regard as a genius, or Steve Huffman at Reddit, who I think is one of the smartest executives in the world, have turned over so much of their growth to you, that's what's going to happen in the future, and that's what I care about.
Well, the most exciting thing, Jim, that I see is that here's Salesforce. We're obviously going to deliver just a phenomenal year this year. You can see the top-level numbers that we're guiding. But the idea is not just in the numbers. We've completely transformed our product line, and you can see it in the way we're operating our business. We've completely reshaped our business as well. We've changed, we've reduced the number of heads we have in service and support because we have supplemented that with agents. We're transforming how we're shaping sales. We've added more salespeople than ever before because our pipelines are bigger than ever before because we have agentic sales. And even in Salesforce internally, we have dozens of agents. I think you've seen like how Slack now has these agents where I can renew, in a deal or close a deal or even check on my employee benefits, all through Slack. So that is what's so exciting. And so if you're going to fix this only on our guidance point for next quarter on CRPO, which is a number that we beat this, in actuals for this quarter, gee, I need to go back and look at my guidance. Maybe I'm just being, too conservative. But I think I am being appropriately conservative, but I've always been that way for 26 years.
I know you have, and I think it's a right to be appropriately conservative. It's just that at a certain point, there's a delta where it comes out that you can't even control how much business you're doing because this thing is such a better product than everybody else. I've been waiting for that, and I'm patient. Because that has to happen. You're going to get a moment where people realize, wait a second, Williams-Sonoma is crushing it. I want to crush it. And that's happening, and I think it's happening, and maybe it will be on display at Dreamforce.
Jim, there's been so much disappointment with generative AI, but not at Salesforce customers. We're not just delivering repackaged ChatGPT, at some productivity level to our customers. We're delivering them very high-quality artificial intelligence that's giving them the ability to fundamentally transform their business. That is what's truly incredible. And in every customer we have, we're mapping out how they can become an agentic enterprise. And we are the template. We're customer zero. And we're showing it this is really working. This is incredible what is happening. And it's showing up right here in the revenue, profit, and cash flow numbers. Look, Jim, how many enterprise software companies, I hate to say it, are delivering $15 billion in positive cash flow this quarter? You know the numbers.
No.
That is what's really amazing. And when whether it's the cash flow, the revenue, the profit, and the customer success are all woven together. So if we're only zeroing in on, well, you're saying your CRPO number for the next quarter is going to be this. What's that about? I think we're missing the forest from the trees.
I agree.
The reality
I don't want to nitpick. Nitpickers lose. Nitpickers lose. I think what you're doing is remarkable. I think the fact that you were able to move 4,000 I listened to the webcast. You're doing a lot of.
Jim, Agent Force and Data Cloud, which is the heart of our AI strategy, is up 120% year over year.
Amen.
That is the transformational elephant for the whole fundamental business.
I think that it's,
and that is what's really amazing. And then you see these huge deals that closed in the quarter, including the U.S. Army. Where we beat Palantir. It was incredible. Where we have this incredible new Mission Force initiative in our company.
Well, let's go
over
really
saying to the government. And by the way,
I want to know what happened with the Army contract. You beat. What you say? You beat Palantir.
You need to remember something, Jim.
Okay. Our
government business, the U.S. government is our largest customer, right? It's a multi-billion-dollar customer for Salesforce. And if we run the Veterans Administrations and the GSA and all these great civilian agencies, but Jim, that there's certain areas that we haven't exactly gone into, and we're not going to go into the details of that, we've left that for others. And, but there are areas in the DoD that we are currently selling to. We want to sell to more of those. And one of them that we did in the U.S. Army this quarter, we had a tremendous success against Palantir because, by the way, our prices are just so much lower. I mean, their prices are just so extraordinary. The cost of Palantir, I'm sure you've seen the price list.
Yes.
It's incredible. But look, we're offering a very competitive product, at a much lower cost.
All right, well, look, let's do this. Let's just have people understand the future, which you're not going to be doing 12, 13% next quarter, but you beat what you said when you were on last time. Everyone got down because you said you're down to like 8, 9, and then you do 11. I rejoice at 11. I'm not going to think I don't care, because if you did the same thing again, we're going to have the stock at an 18 multiple, and it's going to be the fastest growing 18 times earnings stock I've ever seen.
Listen, Jim, I've been a $4 million company, a $40 million company, a $400 million company, a $4 billion company like a Palantir, but we're a $41 billion company, 10 times larger than a Palantir. And you can't all of a sudden throw around these growth rates and say a $4 billion company should be growing it and the $40 billion company should be growing at the same rates. It's not the way to look at business. We're delivering very high levels of customer success, very high levels of quality financials, the cash flow, the margin, the GAAP performance, the non-GAAP performance that all of our investors want and that we want.
I agree with you.
Is the high quality outcome. And at the end of the day, all of those customers are becoming agentic enterprises, transforming themselves to deliver new levels of profitability, customer success, through artificial intelligence.
I think that's the right brief.
That's what's really exciting. That's the right
brief. Unfortunately, we have to make it a brief, but that's the right brief. Marc Benioff, co-founder, chair, and CEO of Salesforce. Guys, there is great growth here. Stop looking at the stock. Start thinking about the business. Thank you, Marc.
Jim, going to see you at Dreamforce October 14th.
Thank you.
It's going to be amazing.
Can't wait. Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you.
Mad Money's back in for the break.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.